So yeah, I think I like this. I think I like this better. Um, so what we'll do from here, I'm gonna drag the house over. Oh no! Wait, no, that's not good. I don't want that. So do this. I did this on purpose. Drag your house over here. I wanted them to be like connected, and I wanted them to line up. So we're gonna do two things at once. I'm gonna show you two tools that are amazing. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag a box and select both of them. Then I'm gonna go up here. There's a bunch of tools up here. This one's amazing. This is called the Align tool. If I click that, it makes these circles show up. And what I can do is I can click any of these circles, and everything I've selected lines up to that circle. So if I click this, boom, look at that. They line up together. And then if I want them to be like actually set up though, boom. Now they're back to where I had before. You can also do it vertically. Like if I click this, now it makes them have the same middle vertically, but I don't want to do that. I want to have them separate. So there we are. So now I want to make this a single piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it again and click on this one, group. It doesn't matter if they're actually touching, but if they're actually touching, it'll make one solid piece. Really, really helpful. And the cool thing is now let's say, oh, I don't like how tall my house is. I don't want it to be 3.5. I just want it to be 3 tall. I can click 3. It'll change the height. And let's say instead of it being 3 by 3 by 3, I'd rather it be 2 by 2 by 2. I can go in and I can change things and do this with me. Make your house a 2 by 2 by 2 house. So there. Now we've got that. Okay, so it's still a pretty standard house. I'd like to add a couple of things. So the first thing that I'm going to add is a carport. Now, if you don't know what a carport is, it's like a garage, except it's open around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a box in, and I'm going to make the box really thin. So let me change my snap. I'll change my snap down to 1/8 of an inch. I'll make it nice and thin and make it 1/8 of an inch thin. And I'm going to make it as long as my house. So I know my house is 2 inches long. And then I'm going to raise it up so it's like over like that. It's an overhang. All right. And then I'm going to bring in another box. And I'm going to make this box just 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch. And since it's 1 inch tall, I should be able to put it here. So I want to make another one of these. So I'm going to go over here and copy and paste it. Another thing we can do is clone, which is Control D. And then I can just drag that over. And again, you're going to want to make sure that things are actually where they belong. Okay. So then I'm going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to click Group. And there we go. Now this is one piece. So I have my house with a little carport on the side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a doorway into my house. So you can use this one here, but I'm going to use the regular block. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to make it about the size of a door. So what do you think? 1/4 inch maybe? So 1/4 inch. That's all right. And then it'd be like a little bit over halfway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to click the hole. And what you can see now is when it's touching it, it's kind of shading. And so I'm going to take this, and I want I actually want my door to go all the way through my house. So I'm going to pull this all the way through. It's going to be a very, very basic house. So door goes in one side, comes out the other side. It's not centered right now. So I'm going to highlight both of these, and I'm going to use my Align tool again and center it. And now, if I click group, this is the power of Tinkercad right here. This is what I love so much about Tinkercad. It cut a hole straight through the house. So now we have a house with a door that goes all the way through. But if you're like, wait, the house, like, it doesn't have a bunch of inside. So, I mean, if you want, so you can, so I clicked on a hole this time. It instead of coming in solid, it comes in as a hole. You could like come in, and we know that our house is 2 by 2 by, like, on the floor. So what I could do is I could click this, and instead of being 2 by 2, I could be like 1.9, and then I click my other one and do 1.9. And if it's gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna have to, let's see if I can use my centering tool. Center. I'm not gonna be able to use this centering tool because it's gonna bring it out into the carport because that's part of it. But if I take it and move it a little bit this way, let's see if I can't get this to work. How's that look? You know what? Yeah, I'm going to fuse those together. And so it is thinking about it. Right now it's, there we go. Well, that's not what I wanted to have happen, is it? I was hoping to just kind of have the inside hollowed out, but still have other stuff. So what I'm going to do is undo that. You can either click undo, or you can click on your shape, and you can click this one, ungroup, and it'll unfuse them, the last fusion that you did. So if you want again, you can click unfuse, and or ungroup, and it'll ungroup those. But I want to leave those grouped. So so I'm leaving those. Seems like 1.9 was a little too fancy. Yeah, okay. So see those red lines on that? That means it's currently cutting into it. It's currently figuring out how to do the grouping. So there we go. The way that Tinkercad works is a lot of the computing that happens is done on the company's computers that make Tinkercad. So we are using their computers for free, just remotely. So I'm going to shrink this. You know, let's do 1.5. I think, yeah, you can do tab to switch between 1.5. So 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And you know what? I think it'd be really fun if it pops out the side here. So we'll have like an open half to the house. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to imagine this is like a glass wall. Be some fancy house. Okay, so there we go. So a couple more things that we should do. I want to have a chimney. No, you know what? I'm going to have a telescope. So I'm going to take this. This is going to be my telescope. Because we're going to be some mad scientist house. So I'm going to make it 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch, because I've been snapped to 1/8 of an inch for a bit now. And I'm going to have it coming out of the roof. So I want to have that angle match. So what I'm going to do, these little arrows, see those? I'm going to take that and rotate it to an angle that makes sense to me. There are 2 rings here. There's the ring with a ton of lines. That lets you move it a degree at a time, get exactly the degree you want. Or if you want to have it snap to common, like to easy degrees, you move your mouse towards, see how it's switching, which ring is showing up. You move it to that inner ring, and then it'll only snap to those. So I'm going to have it go at a 45-degree angle. I usually will use the snapping one. Because you don't normally care about having degrees beyond 45 and 90 and stuff like that. So I'm gonna come over here and I'll bring it up to the roof. And yes, we could make this look a lot cooler if we took more time. But I'm just trying to show. Actually, yeah. Let's make this look cooler real quick. So I'm gonna go back, rotate it to 90. Let me show you something else you could do here. I'm gonna take this, and then instead of doing 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch, I'm gonna do let's do 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, and then I'm gonna shrink it down. I'll make it 1/4 inch big. I think it's enough, yeah. So I'm gonna highlight these two, and using my grouping tool, I'm gonna have them have the same top, and then be centered. Oh, nope, they're not completely centered. Be centered, and then centered. Nope, wrong button. Centered. There. Now they're centered on each other. All right. So now if I group them, this is just a little bit more like a telescope, like a real thing. So now I can go at a 45-degree angle and put it into the house. Cool. I'll group them and click group. So now I've got my house with this little telescope out there. And there's just two more things that I'm going to do. The first one is I want to name my house. This is the first part where you're allowed to do something different than me. If you go over here and click on text, and you click it, boom, it says text. Oh, I've been looking at it from the wrong angle. All right, it says text. Well, I want to put the text on the other side of my house. So I'm going to click on my house, and I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees. All right. So I would like this to say house, but you can write whatever you want. So I'm going to make this say house. Oh, I'm going to be cheesy and have the word us highlighted, like the thing that makes the house is us. Like wall art that people have. And then I want to have it be able to like go into my house there. So I'm going to rotate it like that. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees that way. And then I need to shrink it down to actually fit my house. So I'm going to have it be, right now it looks like it's 4.3 inches long, but my house is 2 inches long. So I'm going to make it 1.5 inches long. It's a little silly looking, but I rotated it by accident. Undo is your friend. Undo helps so much. So I'm going to drag it up. I'm just going to eyeball this one. And I would like it to be imprinted into the side of my house, so I'm going to make it a hole. And then I'll highlight them and group it together. So again, see all the red outline there? That means it is calculating. It's figuring everything out. It's doing all the work for me. Boom, there it is. So, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my car in the garage. So, sorry, car in the carport. So I'm going to go over and click on the scribble tool. This thing is awesome. If I click on it, it just has this scribble looking thing. If I click here, what it does is it opens up a little thing where I can draw any shape I want. So I'm going to draw myself a little car. Drawing a car, look at me, drawing a car. Gonna put a dude in the car. All right, there's the car. And then you can even see a little preview up here. I forget what this does. Oh yeah, this lets me erase stuff. I'm going to click done. Look at that. It's my little car. So I'm going to take my car, going to turn it sideways. So printing this actually would be challenging. Having vertical space like that where it's empty is a problem, but that's a lesson for a different day. So now I'm just going to rotate my car, rotate, and put it. Wow, wow, that fits. That fits really well. Let's say, yeah. Oh, you know what? You see how its wheels are kind of under? I actually need to raise it up. That's where, if you're not 100% sure, it'll tell you how far above or below it is. So you can click on that and make it zeroed out. But yeah, let's say it was the wrong shape. I could, drag it around, do whatever. There, make a little smart car out of it. But I like where it is, so I'm gonna do that. I'll keep that, and I'll put it in my carport. And yeah, this is just to give you a sense of the different things that you can do with Tinkercad. If we were going to 3D print this, there's a couple things that we would need to fix about it. The main one being the car. Everything else, we have ways to do it. So what we're going to do now is everything except for the car. So I didn't group these together. I just wanted to show you that that was a thing you could do. So you know what I'll do? I'll take the car, I'll rotate it to a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to embed it. I'm going to embed it in the roof. Boom, there. So it's sticking out a little bit. Oh, wait, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want it sticking through there. Just let me raise it up. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to fuse them together. So I'm going to have a car just plop, just sitting like that, sticking out. That's fine. All right. So I'm going to show you what you do anytime you want me to print something you make in Tinkercad. If it is a single piece, we come over here to export. And, oh, nope, we don't do this yet. I'm wrong. Come over here. Tinkercad uses an auto naming feature. We always want to make sure that we go in and we write what it is. So my dream house, this is Canfields. So anytime you send something to me, make sure it's got some identifying features in it. Otherwise, if I'm getting 100 different requests and none of them have names, I don't know what belongs to who. So now I can click export. For 3D print, we're going to send it to an STL file. Cool. And in the next video, I'll show you what I do on my end. But all you got to do now is, you go into your email and oh, right, I forgot. So next time I'll show you what I do here. But you just email the STL to me.